Holy Christ! I almost missed out on NAWA this week. I got a message saying, did you check out the new episode? Well, there were 2 at the weekend, so there isn't another one, is? Yes, there is. Yes, and so I had a look at it last night, and here we are, podcasting today, on the day when another one will come out. You might get a double bubble of NAWA, folks. Who knows? Now, this was an okay episode. In fact, it was a good episode. There's never a bad episode now with NAWA, but it's not as good as some other episodes. We've got George South starting. You know, I really admire the work he's done. I really admire the training he's given. I really admire the time in wrestling he's had. Of course I do, and he is the Carolinas champion, the first and still Carolinas champion, and he defends the belt regularly, which is great, but you're not always going to get a high-flying wrestling match, are you? Because George, you know, he's a certain kind of style of wrestler anyway, and he's a seasoned wrestler, so that's fair enough. Before we get there, though, we've got Sheik Ishtar in to speak to Guy tonight, who Guy doesn't really get to speak to because he just talks and then goes. I do like that. It's a kind of Colonel Adnan thing, isn't it? What was his name? What was it? I don't know, Casey, wasn't he? Yeah, kind of one of those, isn't it? But anyway, tonight, George South will face Thomas Extreme, which will be interesting. They've faced each other once before. I don't think George South has trained him, which surprised me because I thought he'd trained everybody in the area. And it's all right. This match, it's okay. I mean, Thomas, what he said he'd do to Thomas is to ground him, and he kind of does. First of all, Curtis, who's there with Michael Elliott, holy Christ, says that George South is like a banana republic dictator. Well, I mean, he has elections regularly where someone tries to beat him and they don't. So there you go. So early on, you've got a headlock, which has worked from George South, and Thomas thinks, I better bail. Don't know why, really. He then hits a back elbow, which is all right. There's some arm work from George South, and he just stands there holding the wrist lock, looking at the crowd, not really putting pressure on that wrist at all, in my view, and Thomas Extreme doesn't half sell it well. Maybe he's got a bad wrist today, and any touching it will be a problem. Could be that. Could be. He stomps on the hand, then goes back to arm work, and there's a swinging neck breaker from George, so he can do it, you know. Back to arm work. I thought we were going somewhere, really. But anyway, back comes Thomas Extreme. A shot. Big shots, actually, that puts George South down. Works a headlock. Cranks on the neck. Hits a drop kick. Then he goes to the top, but George throws him off the top, which he often does. Then gets the claw. Blackjack Mulligan is mentioned by Michael Elliott. Well done, mate. And it's a very quick fading. The quick fading of Thomas Extreme. So, maybe he's got a bad head as well. Could be that. But, yeah, he fades very quickly. And George keeps hold of the title. So, Big Donnie is in to talk about Golden Gladiator because, of course, he lost his title by Golden Gladiator coming back to NAWA and clonking him one with a coal miner's glove. A coal miner's glove, which you can buy at the coal miner's glove shop. He's quite entertaining, actually, Big Don. He's got some aphorisms. You know, the kind of the pithy headline things. Very nice. And that's the first time I've seen him interviewed in which I found him entertaining. Right. Shug G, who is the IWE Mayhem champion, will fight Dre the Goat next week. He's very confident about that. And I'm confident that match will be bloody good. But your main event this week, folks, Follux, is a 6-man tag. And one of the reasons why this is so interesting is, well, the main reason really is because although we've got the Moonshiners in there and we've got the Closers, you've got Golden Gladiator on the Closers side and Big Donnie on the Moonshiners side. And Big Donnie desperately wants to get his hands on Golden Gladiator 2, as you know. So early on, there's some moonshine on the outside of the ring. Golden Gladiator slips on it. Where there's blame, there's a claim, GG2. Anyway, Ishtar is on the outside. I thought he was going to be in the corner. not in the corner, in the team of GG2, but he's not. He's a sort of cheerleader. There's prevarication, as there often is with GG2. Dusty tries to knock Myrick Moore down, but he is barrel-chested and battle-tested, so you won't be able to do it, mate. In comes BNB, the big nasty bastard, and no one moves. They run at each other, he and Myrick Moore. No one moves. I like that a lot. Dusty then then you've got Moore put down by Big Donny, and Myrick thinks, better be careful, so he retreats to the corner. Dusty gets in with a drop kick for all, because he's a high-flying hillbilly, as we know. There's a Golden Gladiator 2 arm drag. That's really, you don't get that much work from GG2 on this. BNB introduces Derek Driver to Uncle Elmer, the moonshine full Uncle Elmer, his belly. It's a belly bump to the head. You know how I feel about this. Oh. And there's a high Dusty drop kick, springboard drop kick. He can really fly. And GG2 is in all over Dusty Money. I'm surprised, actually. Moore hits a basement clothesline, which was lovely. Golden Gladiator 2 and Ishtar get a choke on the outside. That's naughty. BNB comes out to try and help. And Donny's in with punches for all. But there's a distraction. GG2 gets that coal miner's glove, which he got from the coal miner's glove shop, and smacks him, and it's deja vu all over again, as people say incorrectly. It's just deja vu, folks, not all over again, because deja vu is something that happens that you think again. See? And he gets the pin. He's winning ways. Into winning ways is Golden Gladiator 2. He's nefarious. And you got to play him at his own game. Maybe you want to go to the barbed wire baseball shop next door to the coal miner's glove shop and get something that you can use, or the trash can lid shop, which is in the hardcore area of the shopping centre, and then come back next week and see if you can beat him up. But that match next week with Dre the Goat and Shug G should be great. I'm looking forward to that, and this was pretty good. I know I said it wasn't the best, and it wasn't, but it was bloody entertaining, because that is what NAWA do so well. Ta-ta.